Welcome to Q&A with Qlik. Today we're going to be talking about everything you need to know or and questions you might have if you're new to Qlik Cloud. I just want to introduce myself. My name's Troy Rainey. I largely help put together webinars and videos like this one. And we've got a great expert panel for you today. We'll just throw it around the room and let everyone quickly say something about themselves. Diksha, why don't we start with you?
Yeah, hi. I am a senior curriculum developer at Qlik. I've been here for 6 years and I focus on creating content related to data analytics on Qlik Cloud for customers, partners, and employees.
Great, thanks. Umberto.
Hello everyone, my name is Umberto. I'm based in Barcelona. I've been with Qlik for a few years now. Can't remember how many, but maybe 7 or 8, something like that. And I enjoy helping out customers in their onboarding process when they migrate from Qlik's enterprise Windows to Qlik Cloud, or they just start in Qlik Cloud.
Fantastic. Vinay?
Hello everyone, my name is Vinay and I've been with Qlik for more than 5 years now. I dominantly work with our US-based analytics clients and yeah, that's pretty much about me.
Great, thanks. And Swati?
Yeah. Hi everyone, this is Swati and I have been working with Qlik for the past 4 years. My role here is Principal Critical Support Engineer. I do support for Qlik Replicate and Qlik Talent cloud data integration.
Fantastic. Well, when you registered, you had an opportunity to submit some questions ahead of time. So we're going to start with those. And first question, what is the recommended course to achieve a Qlik Cloud Analytics certification? Diksha, you want to take that one?
Yeah, so we do have a page on qlik.com that points to certifications. You can see here you have options for Qlik Talent and Qlik Data Analytics. If you click on the Qlik Data Analytics certifications, it takes you to a page that has a list of all our certifications. If you just scroll down there, Troy, you can see, yeah, there you are. So for each of these certification exams, there is information about what courses you can enroll into, self-paced as well as instructor-led training that's available. And you can go and click there and you can learn everything that's needed for that specific certification exam. Now, having said that, I also would like to highlight that we are launching new certifications related specifically to Qlik Cloud Analytics. So you may want to, keep a watch for announcements related to those upcoming certifications that should be coming out sometime this year.
Exciting. Thanks. That's great. And I'll share that link. Here we go. All right. Next question. For former client managed software subscribers, is there a strategy they should adopt or consider when moving their ETL/ELT scripts from client managed to Qlik Cloud, considering the capacity licensing model?
Well, that's a very, very good question and very tricky one. Tricky one because I don't know how to introduce it, but shortly, what we can say is that you need to have a mindset switch, really. The idea that lies behind capacity is that the capacity is counted considering two parts: data files and the derived data. The derived data are the data that you extract from data sources, databases, and the data files could be QVDs, flat files, whatever. Now, the main point here is that that data has to be anyhow kept in the tenant. The more you import or keep that data into the tenant, the more capacity you use. Let me share slide that I have here, which may help understanding what I mean.
Sure. And while you're loading that up, I shared a link to a webinar that Umberto did where he talked all about this in detail. And one of the cool highlights from that I thought was interesting is that reloads do not count against the capacity. Once the data is loaded once, reloading and updating, refreshing that data, it does not get counted a second
Right.
time or multiple
Correct.
times.
That's also a good point. I forgot about the tech talk we discussed. Do you see my
Yes, we see the
slide? Okay.
PowerPoint.
Now, this slide shows exactly where the capacity is counted and where it is not. Whenever you see these dollars, it means that capacity is counted. When you don't see the dollar, it means that capacity is not counted. So if you connect to a data source and you bring some data into the tenant, obviously that's capacity usage to be counted. Then if you start creating flat files inside the tenant and you start occupying spaces in the tenant, that's also capacity consumption. However, if you export those flat files externally, you don't consume capacity. Also, very interesting, if you create a new app from scratch, which is using the QVDs that you're already hosting in the tenant, those apps don't consume capacity.
Yeah. And one of the cool things with capacity is there's an unlimited number of entitlements. Anybody can use it. A lot of cool stuff.
Oh, well, there are lots of benefits.
Yeah.
For instance, you focus on the capacity, on the space you use, but not on the number of users that they connect to.
Exactly.
Because, you know,
That
basic
kind of gets
users.
into our next question, because I don't want to spend too much time on this. There's a great resource that I've provided in the chat where you can dive into that more. But our next question is how to simplify the assignment of roles and entitlements. And also a combo to that question, can you create custom groups? So you're about to get into that. Sorry for interrupting.
No, well, I don't know if I can answer something, maybe someone else also wants to add more information about it, but basically, yes, the idea is to take advantage of also if you have an IDP of the IDP groups in order to create a specific set of groups, one for instance for developers, one for admins, one for business analysts, and import those groups by using, for instance, scheme or any protocol that they are up to, and use those groups in order to define which permission can be given to a specific bunch of people through the groups. The other point is that if you don't have IDPs, you can also create, or even if you have it, you don't want to use the groups coming from IDPs, you can use the custom groups as well.
So yes, we can definitely use custom groups. And there's another webinar that Umberto did called Qlik Cloud Admin 101, where he demonstrates using Skim to actually push those users from Azure, I think it was, into the tenant.
Yeah.
And that's a great tool, and he demonstrates how that's used there. So there's a link to that. And someone's asking if it's possible to get that Qlik Cloud best practices PowerPoint that you were sharing. Is there a resource like that that's available?
Yeah, I can send you the slide for sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll post once Umberto sends that to me. I'll post that with the recording probably tomorrow on Qlik Community. So keep an eye out for that. And everyone who's registered today will get an email with a link to that recording where you'll find that resource. So keep an eye out for that. Our next question. how to embed Qlik objects. Since this was a pre-submitted one, pulled up a
Yeah.
couple of webinars, but yeah, go ahead, Vinay.
So one is basically where you can use a new type of subscription that we have introduced, that is anonymous access tenant, where you can simply share an app with a user who is not a member of the tenant, and you can share that link externally for consumption of the contents inside the app. And there's a way you can get a embed link in the same tenant, and then there's a inbuilt code in our QlikDev environment for that, and you simply enter those iframe codes and then update it as per your needs. Let me share the link.
Sure. And I posted a link to a webinar where one of our colleagues, Damien, demonstrates how to actually embed Qlik analytic objects, charts, and things using different methods. And one of them they demonstrates is what Vinay is talking about, the anonymous access tenant, which is a really fantastic tool. And the Qlik embed information all about Qlik embed is on QlikDev, and I'll share that link with you as well. I see a couple questions slipping into the chat, and that's understandable since I'm posting links there, but just so I don't miss them, if you could copy them over to the Q&A tool, that way I'll be sure I won't miss them. Thanks. Great. Well, there's some videos where those processes are demonstrated. Next question. Are there any immediate plans to remove the need for classic mode for objects such as maps, containers, etc., so that the generated iframe tag is no longer necessary? And I think we're, again, talking about embedding.
Now, as of today, that iframe tag is still needed when you embed. I have not heard of any plans to change that in the near future, because currently it doesn't support the Nebula APIs and stuff like that. You still need a iframe tag to render those objects for the classic charts and stuff UI.
Okay. Well, that brings up a good opportunity to talk about Qlik ideation. You can find this on Qlik community under support, ideation, and browse and suggest. If you guys haven't seen this feature, it's available on Qlik community, and it's an opportunity for customers and partners like yourselves to see suggestions for feature improvements, product improvements, feature requests from other customers and vote on them. And if you don't see one that you like, you can submit your own. And our product management team weighs this feedback from customers like yourselves very heavily when they're considering what improvements to make. So definitely give this a look. And that might, I haven't looked myself, but there might be a suggestion like that already up there. But moving on. Next question. In a simple table, how can I make only my selections available for download? So, like does anybody have a tenant app, something that we can demonstrate how that works?
Well, I do have a tenant. I don't know if I have a table ready, but technically when you select anything and you then go and download, the download include already only the selections you have made. Now, I'm not sure if the user was saying, how can I make sure that whatever I select is also downloadable for the other people, for the other users?
Perhaps.
Maybe that's what they're referring to. In that case, obviously, you need to work with, for instance, set analysis. I'm not sure if anyone else would like to suggest any other option, but this is the way it should be. But
And we had a really good webinar where Ula from the learning team demonstrated and explained how set analysis works and different concepts there. So since you mentioned it, I'm going to share that link as well. But in general, yeah, when you make selections, there's a little 3-dot menu in the corner of that chart you can download from there. And if you have selections already selected in the app, it should already be filtered. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Great.
We can show that, but I don't think it's worth wasting time showing
All
this.
right.
I mean, to add to that, if you want other users, like you want to apply some filters by default when users open the app, you can do that by default bookmarks, or like you have alternate states that allows you to, set default selections on an app when other users open it by default, and those selections are already applied. And when they try to export the data, those filters will already be, set to those data.
Indeed.
Great
Good point.
point.
Thanks, Vinay.
Fantastic. All right, next question. Any chance of a progress or FileMakerDB connection in the near future? Sounds like somebody is familiar with their ideation page, but I'm not familiar with that topic. Does anyone have any comment on that?
I'm not aware of any FileMaker DB connector, but they can use ODBC, provided they use a data gateway, Qlik data gateway direct access client.
Okay.
In that way, they can easily connect to the.
All right, so we're just saying we're not aware of any specific customized connector for that, but
No.
there are certainly ways to connect to it using Gateway and ODBC. And that kind of follows up with the next question. Can Qlik Cloud make an ODBC connection? And that's a pretty basic question and functionality, but from what I hear, yes.
Yeah,
By using.
I mean, yeah,
Please
sorry.
go,
You
Vinay.
can, no, yeah, there's no direct ODBC connections. You'll have to use direct access gateway to connect to the ODBC sources, like local sources.
Okay.
If you have,
And if you're not familiar with the Direct Access Data Gateway, I did a great webinar all about it here, and I'll share the link where
yeah, I mean,
it's thoroughly
so
demonstrated.
direct access gateway only comes when you have the data locally or within your firewalls. We have list of ODBC connections available online if your database is open to the internet or Qlik Cloud.
Okay, great. Thank you, Vinay. Next question. How to properly size how much data is needed in cloud? Is it app size, QVD, source file size, or do you need to add both together? So it sounds like someone's considering migrating and not quite sure what level their implementation might fall in. Anybody want to talk to that?
If you are an existing Qlik user, you can reach out to your account manager. They do have a tool where they can calculate your existing usage and suggest what would be your preferred subscription, the data size that you need when you migrate. So it is better to reach out to your account manager, and they have available tools to determine this existing sizes on your tenant and then give you the options that you want.
That's a really great tip. But I've had a couple webinars where we talk in depth about that topic and even demonstrate some of the tooling that's available. I was just looking for
Then
those
again,
links.
it depends where they are, for instance, moving from Qlik Sense Enterprise for Windows into Qlik Cloud. We don't know exactly the background of this question, but broadly speaking, as Vinay said, there's no in app which tells you exactly how much space you need. So you better talk to your account manager. I'm talking about Qlik Cloud capacity, okay?
Yeah. But I provided a link to the Migration Center on Qlik Help, where it has just a ton of information about this topic, perhaps too much. And if you'd like somewhere a little gentler to start, you can take a look at one of our webinars. Here, this first one, they talk about the whole process and what's available. And the second webinar link about migration does a pretty thorough demonstration of a really cool tool that's available out there to take a look at your on-prem implementation, gathers information about that, and moves everything, almost everything, to your
Troy,
cloud.
I would like
Go
to
ahead.
add that there is also a move to cloud learning page now on Qlik Learning that has a
Ooh.
number of courses that are available to customers as well. We just released that towards the end of last year.
Fantastic. Let me know if you've got a link and I'll share it.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Is Qlik Replicate available in Qlik Cloud, or are there any plans to migrate it?
Yeah, Troy, I'll take this question. Qlik Replicate is one of the major component in Qlik Talent Cloud data integration, and it is already available in QTC Cloud. We are having the user guide. I can share the user guide link.
Great. But there's a portion of the Migration Center that is specific to that and the tooling that's available. Might be one of the links you're mentioning.
Sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, I'm still sharing, right? Yeah, on the Migration Center, there's a lot of information about that topic.
Oh, yeah.
How to, if you're on-prem with Qlik Replicate or any of our data integration software, how to migrate that to Qlik Talent Cloud and the data integration tools that are available there.
Correct. Yeah.
Fantastic. Oh, and Diksha, you just sent this. And this is what you mentioned. Great.
This is the move to cloud learning page, and all the learning here is available for free.
Ooh, I love that. All right. Next question. Which Qlik learning modules are available or recommended for Qlik developers that want to integrate the use of AI in data integration jobs? So we've got a lot of tools available out there, right?
There are, but if you're looking at learning modules, we have a couple of them right now. We started off last year with creating most of the foundational content for Qlik products. So we are hoping to have more learning available this year, but we do have a couple of courses, and I think, Troy, if you can share those links, then
sure,
that might be helpful.
Using AI components in Talent Studio, nice. And this second link, Knowledge Marts. Ooh, that's great.
Yeah, so there's definitely more content coming on this. The teams are working on creating new curriculum related to AI with data integration, and we should have more courses coming this year.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I have another webinar coming up at the end of the month with Simon Swan talking all about setting up knowledge marts for AI. So it's basically how to prep your data on the Qlik data integration side to optimize your AI tools. So register for that if you get a chance. All right, next question. Can I hyperlink a column in Excel on-demand reporting without adding additional support columns? So a very specific, if you guys, I'm not sure if we have anybody who's that familiar with the details of the Excel on-demand reporting, that Qlik add-in I think we're talking about in Excel, where you can generate reports directly in Excel.
Yeah, of course we are familiar with that, but I don't quite understand the mechanism that the customer is trying to, the user is trying to reproduce.
I mean, I would suggest you open a support case and we can definitely look into that particular scenario and help you out.
Okay, yeah, that does sound pretty specific. It sounds
Yeah.
like it should be feasible, so I understand the customer's frustration there. So yeah, if you could reach out on Qlik Community under support and find the support portal there, contact Qlik. There it is. There's a way here to reach out through our different channels, and we'll see if we can address that more specifically. Great. All right, next question. How to restrict access to the Qlik application itself while at the same time allowing the end user, not anonymous, access to an object embedded in the web portal. Okay, so two different things. How to restrict access to a Qlik application. Who wants to talk about that? Basically, it's through spaces, right?
I think what they want to allow is the restricting users to the tenant. If you want to, there's an embedded analytics role where you can apply to that user, any of the users, and those users will not be able to access the tenant. However, if you have embedded any of the contents, app contents inside your web portals, the users would be able to access those contents without any issues, depending upon if you have assigned the basic role or capacity role, they'll still be able to access the contents without having additional configurations, but they won't be able to access the tenant or the app.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that is what the original question meant, but that's what I could understand.
Okay, that's fair. Great. We'll move along, and if you have a follow-up question to that, please enter it in the Q&A tool, and we'll see if we can get to it. Next question. Pre-evaluation of the volume of data imported into a non-capacity tenant to determine if capacity is viable versus cost. I think that might be best addressed through your account manager, because they can actually have some tools to take a look at that, to evaluate your current implementation, and have a more informed discussion about what might be best for you, whether it's capacity or non-capacity. And that really depends about how your usage, how the data and app analytics are used, I think. So I recommend reaching out to your account manager. Does anyone else have anything do you want to address about that?
Pretty much
Only
what you said.
Yeah. The accounts team has access to those tools, and in the support, we don't have that.
Okay. Next question. Is there a cloud-based task scheduler or reload monitoring dashboard available, similar to the Qlik management console that we use on-premise? That is a great question.
I think it's in the pipeline. I have seen the demo, but I'm not sure when that is planned to be released. It should be released in Q1 or Q2. It's been under, further testing and development, but the task scheduler where you can see the ongoing reloads, stop them, or adjust the reload weight, all those stuff will be made available in the, management console in the Qlik Cloud tenant itself. Currently, we don't have that, so that's there on the roadmap for sure. By Q1 or Q2, it should be available, but I don't have the exact release information for that.
One piece of that question was reload monitoring. Isn't there an app where you can take a look at all your reloads?
Yeah, that only shows the reloads which are completed. That doesn't show the ongoing reloads. So.
Okay. Great. I will keep an eye out for that. Next question. We still use NPrinting for reporting from Qlik Sense and QlikView. What does the process look like for migrating those NPrinting reports? Do we have to switch to on-demand reporting? It's a great question.
There are, yeah, I mean, we do have multiple types of in-app reporting, on-demand. You can HTML-based, whatever the type of, most of the reporting types that are supported in NPrinting are being implemented in Qlik Cloud. So if you have a specific report, like any restriction, you could let us know and we can have a check. But we are trying to make sure that all the on printing reports will be able to migrate to Qlik Cloud soon.
Yeah, and this, I realize it's a little on the older side now. It's a year old, but we had a webinar where we talked all about what those capabilities look like in cloud and a bit about how to migrate them. So I'll post that link. That was the account manager for NPrinting and cloud reporting, and he was really targeting NPrinting customers specifically with that webinar. And he listed a lot of resources available, so good to check that out. Next question. Other than cloud, can we use AI tools with the on-prem Qlik software like November 2025 version? It's a good question.
Sorry, I missed it.
Sure. Somebody's asking if it's possible to use AI tools with the on-prem Qlik software.
I'm not aware of any roadmap for the AI to be embedded in Qlik Sense Enterprise for Windows.
And we're here just to help out customers. We're not so much on the sales side, but I would say that was the big selling point for Qlik Cloud, that all the new development with software capabilities and especially AI tools to make analytics easier, all that's coming through cloud. So that is the big tool in the toolbox that they're leveraging. All right, we've gotten through everything in the Q&A box. Let me see if a few questions have slipped into the chat and I didn't miss any. All right, here's one. Is there any demo available that shows AI integrated with Qlik Cloud, specifically for chatbot style solutions other than the Insight Advisor? Well, I know Qlik Answers is a really cool tool, and it's very much got that chatbot style, but I'm not aware of any demos at the moment. Do you guys know of any? I know things are developing all the time, and they're constantly trying to just test it some more and before they release it. But we've gotten pretty far as what's possible.
I'm pretty sure that says people must have a
I
proof
know,
of
right?
concept, but I'm not
I've seen
aware
some
of.
stuff internally, but I'm trying to think of what's available externally.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that they may reach out their sales people, because if they are supposed to be working on with Qlik Answer, for sure they must have a contact in Qlik.
Sure. All right. One question. Oh, as a bit of a follow-up, if companies are not planning so far to move to cloud and they want to use the AI tools, that's the reason they're asking. I totally respect that demand, and not everybody's ready to move to the cloud. And I'm not aware of any AI tools that are available. Yeah, besides the Insight
Actually,
Advisor.
yes. I mean, you could use the AI cloud only for the AI. You distribute the apps from prems. You remain on prems. Nobody's going to touch your on-prems installation. But to take advantage of the AI tool, you could distribute the apps.
Yeah, have a hybrid solution where you just sort of publish some apps.
Exactly. That way
you can be very careful what data you make available up there, but
Qlik Cloud is secure.
Oh yeah.
Like any cloud, you respect all possible security protocols currently available on the market. So if you have concern about using Qlik Cloud, you should have concerns about using Azure or AWS.
Very good point. All right, next question. Can we download the files, as in CSV, XLX, XLSX, etc., from cloud spaces?
No,
Absolutely.
currently,
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, currently, you can directly download the files that you uploaded in your Qlik Cloud, and like simply, there's no direct option to download. You would have to use automations or use any scripts to save those files in your SharePoint or OneDrive, any of the cloud locations. Because as of today, we don't support direct download of the files once you upload it.
Yeah, but it depends. The question isn't that detailed. It's about how they want to download, but you can download the data from tables from inside the apps. You can download those as PDF images or XLX. And
Yeah. Since they mentioned like the data in Qlik Cloud Spaces, I thought they meant the
sure.
data files that they uploaded or shared in Qlik Cloud Spaces.
Yeah. But there's a lot of download options, certainly. We had a question just came in. Oh, did you want to add some more, Umberto?
No, I was just echoing what Vinay was saying. You use a script or automations, and you should be able to download whatever you want. The idea is that we want to limit for security and confidentiality purposes as well. Not only that, but as well. We want to limit an easy download from spaces. So that's something we should be delegated to either developers or admin people for now. But I think they are looking to that for, in the future. They want to make sure that, the security guarantee what the standard requires, obviously. High security.
Definitely. All right. Next question. Is Replicate actively still developing new connections, or will it stay fairly stagnant for the foreseeable future? That's a fair question.
New connections, like currently we are just having the fabric in the latest versions. That is the one new one. But yeah, remaining all are like still stagnant related to Qlik Replicate.
But if there's a connection you're passionate about that you need, I definitely recommend looking at ideation and seeing if other people are also requesting that, because we're putting a lot of resources into the cloud versions, but that doesn't mean that development is over for Qlik Replicate by any means. So
Yeah.
definitely take a look at ideation and see if there's other customers looking for the same kind of connection that you are, and vote on it. Great. Next question. We have several customers that still use QlikView. I'm a QlikView guy, so I totally respect that. And would like to migrate them to Qlik Cloud. What would help is providing customers a sandbox environment in Qlik Cloud in which they can play test several ready-made apps, I guess, yeah, to try it out. Is there a public sandbox environment that Qlik hosts to refer customers to? We would like to avoid asking clients to register for a demo license themselves. All right. Who knows where that demo site is with a bunch of Qlik apps that are available for people that you can try? I know I've seen it. I can't think of where it is.
It's demo.qlik.com, but it doesn't allow to open the other files that you have. It's a pre-listed
That's not
apps
good.
listed there that you can download and upload it to your,
Yeah.
Also, I think I understand the question, of course, and fully respect the question itself. But if you move into Qlik Cloud from QlikView, your main concern is not about what Qlik Cloud looks like in terms of UI or visualization objects, but I guess rather it's about how you're gonna implement your logic in Qlik Cloud, and the sandbox is not going to be enough for you
Yeah,
to
but
appreciate that.
it's nice to have some demonstrations about what's possible in Qlik Cloud. I totally understand the need for that. while we dig up that link, I just wanted to share this is an excellent webinar that has stood the test of time, where we demonstrated what that journey looks like and tooling that's available to migrate your QlikView apps to Qlik Sense apps, and then migrate those Qlik Sense apps to Qlik Cloud. And the tooling from that last step has changed a bit since this was made, but basically it's still the same journey, migrating from QlikView to Qlik Sense to Qlik Cloud. And there's a webinar where we talk all about that and show what's possible. And I'd again refer to the Migration Center. But you mentioned demo@qlik.com. That wasn't working for me.
Yeah, I think we
What
moved
is
that.
it? Yeah. I feel like it's off here somewhere.
Another point I want to highlight is that since if you have multiple client or customers, we do have an OEM license where you can create multiple tenants for you. So we basically have the OEM partners. What they do is they get an OEM license where you can create a number of tenants. So if you have a prospect or a new clients who want to try out, they simply create a tenant and give access to that tenants to the prospective clients so that they can test out the features and upload the apps and stuff like that. So, but if you are a direct customer, then you would have to register for a Qlik Cloud trial itself or reach out to our salespeople.
Oh, someone's asking for the migrate in QlikView. Did I not do that? Let's see. This is what happens when you have too many tabs open.
Here you have a bunch of.
Oh, I did.
Oh,
Was the
okay.
migrating from QlikView to Qlik Cloud. This one.
I was
But
thinking maybe
I'll
also
post just in case.
this link.
You got one for me? Ooh,
You need to register, but once you register, you have some examples. I can show that to you, or you can.
oh, that's great. And yeah, this is basically a site with a lot of apps, demo apps that demonstrate, what dashboards can look like. That was what I was looking for, right?
No, here you have different scenarios. Let me show that you. You have different scenarios that you can go through.
Somebody's helping us out.
See?
This is, I think, what I was looking for. Explore.qlik.com. Thank you.
But this is a demo, a video. Sorry.
Yeah, what you shared was, but this has a collection of tours, videos, apps, mashups.
Yeah.
I will share that link. That's right.
And
It
also
had
you need to
changed.
log in. Remember, you need to register yourself before you can enjoy any type of resource in Qlik as in any other cloud environment.
Yeah. But this here is a great resource. It's got a lot of fun things in here and demonstration of new capabilities. So it's a bit more than just apps and videos. Great. All right. Well, we've gotten through all the questions. If you have any questions on your mind that we haven't addressed, please submit them now. But thank you so much for all these excellent questions. I hope they've helped. We really appreciate your interaction with us and feedback. And I want to thank this excellent expert panel for being here today and addressing everything that comes in. And if there's no more questions, I want to thank everybody for joining and hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Have a nice
Thank you.
day.